Well, thank you so much for coming this morning. I'm Dr. T.A. Loeffler, and
I'm Dr. Jeannette Byrne.
And Dr. Stephanie Field and Dr. Fabien Basset are off at conferences at the moment, so they wish they could be here. And we are all from the School of Human Kinetics and Recreation, and we wanted to spend some time talking and building some Lego this morning to get people thinking about how you might be able to use Lego in your own classrooms or in your programs. But we realized it wasn't just having the bricks sit up here would probably just be too sad for all of us who are sort of Lego humans. So it looks like we have pretty good table distribution. We have a table of 3, a table of 3, and a table of 4, and a table of 4. So it could be that maybe one of the 4 5s could move over to the 3s, but it's not that big of a deal. So we're going to start. Today, if you want to give each table a box of minifigs. And again, since I'm going to wander around and Jeanette's going to wander around, probably what might be nice actually is if some of you that are sitting on one side come over and make a pod with your humans. Oh, since they got these great things.
You noticed for me.
So is it going to be 2 and 3?
That's all right.
So, my connection is
Anyway.
And so what we want you to do is open your minifig box, please. And I want you to find the minifig that speaks to you today to do a brief introduction with your group members. So find a minifig that speaks to you. And hopefully you would introduce yourself to your colleagues and talk a little bit about what brought you to this workshop today. Of all the choices you had, why did you choose to sit here?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's all right.
If you've got,
You are, but I'm like, yeah, you know everybody.
got enough minifigs,
Do you mind if the socks are
I think I'm gonna yeah, I think, when I looked this morning.
So you're supposed to be contact.
These are talking about.
We're supposed to select only like for any side.
I was thinking of, but
so both blocks. And we're going to mix these.
I was gonna say, we like.
yeah, you can mix because I found, having been out in like their classrooms now, they're in it. So.
Yeah, that sounds just so painful.
It's like, I manage equipment so much. Oh.
Oh, she was.
Brought you did you guys get to see? Yeah, you all have. Yeah. Turns out the students are not quite as discreet as they were.
Yeah, no way.
So if you want over here, come on in, grab a chair.
They were clean. Are you like?
So I'm going to get over some point. So we're looking at all the Lego and finding a minifig that.
So find a minifig that speaks to you and then. You don't need each other. Why you feel that minifig?
Someone you'll say. I don't know.
She said, I like, if I act, you know, my son gave them.
Yeah, this at this point. Let's be real.
Oh.
I have them. And skateboards.
My name is Mike Walker.
What's the thing? Like,
Yeah, I think it's baby stroller.
I can. It's a dolly. Oh, okay. You know, right?
So, yeah. So
I drove it off Lego.
I chose this guy just because
That's cool.
I like guys, so he has all these guys.
Is
They
there?
make textiles. Speaks to me, I think like a picture.
Yeah, I'm. She spoke to me because I'm dying to get out of the car. Somebody really good. Very sponsors.
Yes.
Oh.
I like.
I found something that they can.
We should just.
You can then, as you're ready, just introduce yourself to each other, your name, the program you hang out with.
What were you? Good job. You guys work at KMA? There might not be any guests. I was. You know, it's on. Send this out.
I see nobody was in here.
Yeah, there's
Flowers.
There may not. Looking for dog leashes.
Dog leashes, probably maybe not. You definitely do exist.
Might say something. Who
I
knows?
spent too much time cleaning up Lego. That's why.
Me too, actually.
Full switching hair. Always translate, right? Like, what are they? Translator is. Yeah, exactly. What are they? I'm just in a, what I do. You're sorting. There's some got my legs. You tell I'm a culture.
That's probably, it's all been in my chart. Just to see where you're at, so what, a lot of time, or enough time to talk through. So once you've chosen your minifig and your accessories, use your minifig to introduce yourself and why you chose that, why that minifig appeals.
You guys.
You're gonna run through that when you're ready.
Probably a sort of success center, which is part of CITL. My job is to make
We discovered that. Exactly.
Because I love time.
The challenging
about how to
Yeah.
themselves and how to study and.
It has not.
What the world.
You're like scary.
You pointed at this.
Oh,
Chance that I might.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
No.
It's a key tool.
It's a
Lost.
key tool.
Thrown off to make things hard.
Jam together. Pushing on the. I'm a member. I'm a member of the Lego user group.
I thought that was a water department. I realized it's not around there.
It's so well, my work.
Okay, perfect.
I've landed.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a volunteer from the University of Calgary. And I chose this because it reminded me of the Marvel Universe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Hydra head. Not because I want to be the bad guys, but because it's a joke. And I chose this workshop because.
enjoy, play, talk to each other.
And I like.
There you go.
I would, yeah, so I'll several working back here at the university. They were
And if everything says Lego, then I have to go. That's the bottom line. Right? I don't have any other reason than that. Is that Lego actually sitting there? Neat idea. Here you go. I picked this as.
Yes. They have, she literally go there and. It's Lego and or search for parts. I
hear that a lot.
Lego salvage.
Well, but I'll stay.
So they have to get the screen pieces off, but that's a standard. Guy, which means you chime in 5 in the back of the store, just like.
It's more like adventure.
It's like these ones.
And I think it's just.
You can see.
You know why we get.
But I saw Lego.
Lift something else like.
Yeah.
This is not my favorite, but this is very similar. Yeah, so like this is undeniable. It's similar.
We currently have a small exhibit. A small exhibit, well, some-
Yes.
Well, I do virtual.
Yeah, and the angles together.
Chicken, is everyone had a chance to go with the first round?
I don't.
Alrighty, so if you would.
So morning is like during this talk.
You can roughly separate them, but don't separate them at all. Just get them back in the box.
And for some reason, I was drawn to this. I realized now it's probably busy. But I finished much. Oh, I didn't see anything.
Oh, nice. All right, so as you're finishing up, if you put your back talk.
On the hand.
Wednesday coming.
Things are out.
It's.
We can share.
They changed it. The art gallery and the art college.
Like, I have.
Yeah.
Firefighter.
Wow.
I just walk in and that's.
The most
Prefix.
And how much, just.
But how did you go pay attention? I mean, the first class I had when I started using
They wrote so many different programs. It's a lovely.
it was sort of an amazing.
All right, if I could draw your attention gently to the front of the room. It's always, sometimes I actually have a meditation gong, I will gong. Especially when you have the Lego out and you got wonderful conversation going, you hate to interrupt. But since we only have an hour, I'm gonna interrupt. So again, kind of just an intro to get you going and show one wonderful ability of Lego is to foster conversation. When folks, and I know we've heard about the current cohort of students, sometimes they bring a fair amount of anxiety into the learning environment. What I have found is when we have things in our hands and when we can keep our hands busy or we focus on that little minifig, it often starts to create that community. So one of the major advantages that I have found in using Lego is it really promotes social learning and as well as community learning. In this Lego lab came about because I was a teaching and learning chair about 10 years ago now. And I didn't realize, and neither did some of my co-chairs, is that we were given a grant to use for our activities, but they didn't tell us we had it each year. So suddenly it was February and I had 2 months to spend $7,000. It was like, woohoo, what can I do? And it's been interesting to look at the trajectory of various teaching initiatives I've done, and mostly they've been around, oh, it's the end of the budget year, what can we spend money on? I had learned some stuff about serious play with Lego, and I'd been a lifelong Lego lover. And so I said, I think we should have some Lego. And I teach a lot about inclusive physical activity and inclusion, universal design. So I instantly saw some things there and made some purchasing choices around that. And I had no idea that all of my other colleagues, or many of my other colleagues, would be able to use it. So again, once you get the PDF and can open it, you'll see my colleague in physiology using it to show chemical reactions and having students interact. Jeannette will tell you in a second what she has done with it. Our other colleague uses it to teach community development, universal design, working through sporting facilities and accessibility. So I think in some ways the sky is the limit. So Jeannette, you want to just talk briefly about how you've used it?
Yeah, so I saw TA with all of these Lego and
I'm like, I love Legos, so how can I bring that into what I do? I teach biomechanics, and I didn't quite figure out how to fit it in there, but then I started to teach an anatomy and physiology course in nursing, and I'm like, Lego. We're going to use Lego to help students learn about the digestive system. So we tried it for a year, and I was teaching virtual labs. So my students were Gander, Grand Falls, Windsor, Happy Valley, Goose Bay. So let's get some Legos into their hands. I was like, I'm not sure if this is going to work. I've never used Lego before, and I've never taught a lab virtually like this before. And I'm still doing it. The students sat down with the Lego. I saw smiles. I teach at 8:30 on Friday mornings sometimes. 9 o'clock on Thursday mornings. I saw smiles. I saw everybody, every single person in the room up and engaged and building their digestive systems. And I was sold. So it's, like TA said, just students, they're just happy. Makes them happy. They have Lego and they get to, and they're learning, right? They're learning. So they build a digestive system, but then label each of them. What role does it play? Blah, 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 right? So you just build on that, and it's phenomenal. And I'm so thankful that I'm lucky to be in this unit with TA, and she had all this money and bought Lego. Because when she was doing it, I'm sure there were some people in the unit thinking, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Yes, our admin guy, by the time I'd finished spending all this money, which, sometimes in our university, it can be challenging because you got to get quotes, you got to get it in before the end of the year. And at some point he came into my office and he said, are you just about done buying this Lego? And I was like, oh, okay. And I put myself in his shoes and I realized Lego at that point may not have passed what I call the headline test. What would it look like if the newspaper said, MUN uses budget to buy Lego? So I said, don't worry, Mike, I got your back. I have academic evidence that shows Lego is very much a part of the post-secondary classroom. And so for you, in your little folder from the QR code, there is some articles there that you can draw on, hopefully to inspire your practice, as well as if you need evidence to make a case for actually purchasing Lego. And so we decided, we could stay and talk and show you stuff, but we've given you some case examples. Again, once you can see the PDF, slides of how different colleagues have used it. But now I want us to do some data analysis or data sorting. So you're going to need to clear your little space in front of you. So move your minifigs out, get your box, and this will be a little bit up. Don't open that box. This is going to be a little bit competitive, a little bit pressure filled. Take it for what it's worth. If you don't feel like, if we just had a whole presentation on slow. So if you don't want to go fast, I'll go fast. I love, there's a great quote that I've used, which is, we have much to do and little time to do it, so we should proceed very slowly. So you're going to have 10 minutes, and as a group, I want you to devise a sorting strategy and affect that sorting strategy of the entirety of the Lego in your box. Is what I've asked you clear? Any questions that I can ask that would help you understand what I've asked you to do? So you're going to open your box.
Can you repeat it?
Yes. I'm a little excited, so I talked really fast. So as your group of 3, 4, or 5, I want you to come up with some method of sorting out all the data in your box. So it can be by whatever means, structures you choose to sort it. And you're going to try to sort in the 10 minutes I'm going to give you your entire box of Lego. So you're going to need everyone to pitch in the effort. You probably will need to devise your strategy fairly quickly and get moving on it. And if you can, ideally, if I had the Lego thing of my dreams, this table would have an inch of containment. So please don't be like my beautiful, amazing grandson, Frederick, and take the box and pretend you're in the ALS challenge and dump it over your head. Please just make sure you haven't got an opening in your table and spill gently so we don't have to spend an hour picking up the pieces. All right. Is that now clear enough for everyone to proceed? Let me get my timer set.
Team over here, ready for it.
They're going over.
Yeah, you finished.
Are you serious?
I was up. I like it. Yellow and orange.
Like in this, I mean, there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm a yes.
So they have that fish.
Alright, I've got red and purple. I'm gonna pile. That building's enough. Alright. I was gonna say, and I've got. Great. Mine has, I have the Legos. That was my fault. Now I have.
You general and then categorize.
Tile, making grand tile here. Like, I was like, color.
Green, anybody got green going on?
Next to you.
I would keep them.
Maroon?
It's a very fun form.
Yep. What your brain's picking up.
Test right now. Oh, ignore all else. Yeah, it's rainbow. Kind of a mix of fuchsia.
I think they get it over.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, value. We gotta just slide. One slide after. Yeah, no. No, girl. Get over it.
Come over and you're the rest.
And you won't take that. Okay, very good. I've got also somebody about brown.
Is this nice?
Yeah.
You're not gonna be fighting.
Oh, no, we've done that already. We're over that part.
We did that. And then you have the fire.
A brown.
The other ones are-
Yeah, I've got brown here.
Yeah.
I've got brown clear.
That's it already.
Brown slash beige.
Bad day, it's a bad day today. Green to green.
What I find really. Other
I got brown here.
like a telephone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it. Last thing.
You could play Red Rover and fall. Probably not.
Red file on the go?
Yeah, I've got red right in front of me here.
I got brown, so you got beige.
I don't think, yeah. And the Legos don't want to go beige. And. Didn't know that. Step at a time, step at a time.
Now, let's see what happens.
Very, you want, but.
Yeah, brown's over here.
You need free flag. Yeah.
Brown is over here.
Yep, it's over that. So now I got all the way.
Oh, yeah. There's gray here and white here.
Brown.
Maroon, I got maroon over here.
It's maroon, it's working on, it's working on the clever.
Great purple. Great purple.
No, you're here, you're.
Yes.
He's got the two-handed technique going.
It's not as nice as.
Probably some. Yeah.
You want to be color?
Yeah, I don't know that it matters, but I had the ability to do it. Pink and purple. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've got kind of a pink, purple,
Pretty cool. There we go.
beige,
Stop.
whatever.
Well, I call it beige, but I'm not going
Yeah.
for a piece the other week.
There you go.
Someone told
Oh, like, we're like underplaying.
You get no sense.
Yeah.
Don't break up the lawnmower.
Okay, it's already now. All different things.
Shades of purple.
Hey. Hey, no, Mark's from sorting.
Stored.
What time is it now?
I'll give you a time check. It's like a cooking show. Check. We have 4.
That's where they were coming from.
Are you until
Are we going to finish 4 minutes and 50 seconds?
Kind of nerded.
What are we going to do with show?
As well.
Color, dates, color change?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Oh, you don't know that is.
I'm not gonna get those. Palette?
Pink's just gonna hurt to put back in the boxes.
My work. Hiding Valley brings all the, feet.
You know more.
Thanks. Nice.
You all going to take some pictures?
Well, focus on that,
Yeah.
Like, so already, good.
Look, right next to you.
Well, the bees went all bad. Oh, of course. Stop kind of has a fun time. Brown's fine.
Then you get into the light.
That dark one there.
It was all. Oh, yeah.
Right there.
3 minutes.
Like that, all 3 minutes. Yeah, I got to hear and she was kind. We got all the browns. They're all in one big box. So what is the brand?
Right.
Somebody. Pretty big box. Here. Bless their heart.
There we go.
So the black. 42nd Street, the half of story.
Yeah.
Wait to do the math. That's how many hours it took to do story. All. Took it, hooked that up. Friends like my. Oh, no, I'm in the air. The muffins.
I use the Craig all the time with.
Oh, really? It's so much fun. It's not. Disconnection. And certainly not a tiny ones.
Yeah. Just came out like on.
Well, this is why I started with telling that's
Create, so it just got edited. Yeah. You ever know Margaret?
All these are finding it.
More beige?
Yeah, that's.
He's there.
Would you?
Hey, you gonna be in though? Just, we have 2 minutes left, Chad. Just under 2
God.
minutes. So just, Joe, when your time's up, and go up.
I want to escape, don't know.
Shoving.
These floors are actually awesome.
Oh, we're so close, people. So close. Over there.
No. Yeah.
Wave it to me, over here.
Hello.
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 Round
1 minute.
Yeah.
Big rainbow. Shooting a rainbow. What? Bingo. We're going purple. Like your pink. Here. Right here. Oh, yeah, wait there, there.
All the time.
30 seconds, Chef, 30 seconds.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Check your work now.
Hey, we got gray, gray.
Seven, 5, 4,
In with white.
3,
Guy in white.
2, hands up. All right, so probably from where you're sitting, you can kind of give a sense of the primary sorts that most teams went to. It looks like a fairly colorful sort today. So when I'm doing student reflection, I often teach them a quick little model of reflection, which is the what, so what, now what model. So the what is a very concrete level. So what was happening in this room as you were sorting the Lego?
Chaos.
Chaos. Okay, what else? Communication, focus,
Working, helping each other.
working and helping each other.
Yes.
And here's something else over here.
Became more organized assignment.
So the sort got more and more organized as the time went on. So I heard focus, I heard communication, I heard chaos. We heard collaboration to kind of come up with how you were going to do the sort.
There was some laughter.
There was some laughter.
We were having fun at it, even though it was a arduous task.
Yeah, so absolutely, that was the solid what. So the so what level is, why would I have you do this if I'm going to make my teaching practice open to you? Or why did we choose this activity to do here with you this morning?
It's help us to look at how the student feel. For example, if it was assignment for the student, we should consider that how long it's going to take time and how complicated it is. And do they need extra help? Then it could be as a way that we think about it as a instructor.
Absolutely. We had different groups progressed at different rates. We had different group numbers. So did we have equity in if it was truly a competitive task? So what? What else? What else did we get to experience?
Collegiality.
So you had that sense of really working together, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah, that you were on task towards a common goal. So you had that sense of building community, perhaps towards the task.
I felt as you were counting down the time, we would have to adjust, okay, now I'm just blinking it your way. The strategy adjusted quickly and nobody questioned it, said, this is what we need to do. We're going to trust you and just wait. So there was that collegial way of instant trust, even though we had only spent 8 minutes together at that point. So it was instant trust.
Right.
There was no questioning.
No.
The new approach, yeah.
Yeah, there was, you just had to dive in because the time limit, we didn't give you, and I could have technically given you a 2-minute strategy time too, if I had more than 60 minutes to do a Lego workshop, or if I wanted that to be the focus. So now if this was truly a course in data analysis, what could we do with this now?
Maybe discover why we chose the way we chose.
Yeah, so I gave you a bucket of data. Why did you choose to sort by color?
It's fast.
Because it was fast. It was very apparent. It was first level sorting. I could see the red, I could see the brown. So we could talk, if I was doing this with grad students, I could instantly make the parallel to, okay, yeah, there's the stuff that instantly we see in our data. Now, if I asked you again, I'm not going to, don't worry, to resort, how else could you resort this Lego? By size, so the number of posts. So you could do 2x4s and 2x2s and little pieces and big pieces by size. Well, how else could you sort it?
Outliers, so you have normal shapes.
Yeah, so the ones that like, wow, these don't fit. One eye sitting in the middle of the table. So yeah, you could do it by function. Those of us that know Lego, there's different function pieces, so there's lots of different ways. So I could take this into a whole bit of how I'm going to teach data analysis. And depending on it, I could make them resort. So A, it was team building. B, it was problem solving. 3, it was Shisek Mahai in a yellow box. It was flow. I mean, did you know someone came in and got a bag and left? It's like the gorilla test. you all were on task in the moment, like, yeah, you're like, what? So what? So that happened. So that intense, wonderful, amazing experience of being in flow. And that is one of the things that I think both Jeannette and I have found is by bringing out the magic colorful bricks, you can get students engaged in a way that's very different than classic. And you can use it as a jumping off, like a diving board, like, okay, let's get warmed up, let's get in the room, let's do a sort, and now we're going to do some data analysis, and maybe we'll continue to use the Lego. Or it could just be that we're going to use it for those classroom climate kinds of things, or both. So that was just a quick little piece. And so then the third part of the model is then the now what. So again, we're going to start moving you now towards the now what of the workshop. So you've come to us today from, I'm sure, different campuses, different disciplines. So now what we would like you to do is we've given each team, and I gave you team colors because it was fun. Everybody's going to get a base plate. And you've got wonderful sorted Lego in front of you. And I want you to come up with a concept from your discipline that you could teach using Lego. And this is an adaptation of when I used to teach our experiential learning workshop on campus, and I would hold up a balloon. And I would say, okay, people, I'm challenging you to what can you teach with a balloon? And it was amazing. I learned so much. From someone in English doing something with the balloon and someone over here doing something. So we want to challenge you that. So we're going to give you 10 minutes. You can chat amongst yourselves. But get something onto a base plate. If you need minifigs, you can use minifigs again.
So
one
per
per person in this case. So you can do it. So you can do it from a CITL. You can do it from a plagiarism piece. What's one piece? Just be creative, be thoughtful.
Just saying, this whole thing is accepted.
And then what we're going to do is just have a little art gallery and go around and visit and chat with each other about concepts that we came up with to teach.
This is
So
really
we'll wander around and do clarifications in case I didn't make myself very clear.
That's something that you could keep.
Technically no longer there, but they did apply research on that.
Yeah, take a second and you've got a little bit of time to kind of pause for a second. We're just like doing high cardio there.
You go,
Right?
But is there something that you can just come up with?
Even though I told them all that summer how to use Excel, they're still like, Excel is just like beast unknown tool. It'd be so easy for them to just like, boom, here's the Lego.
Here it is.
Right? There it is. I can challenge myself.
Do it.
So we should do like something that relates to each of our disciplines.
So you should pick your discipline and it's something that you can convey and like you want to hold it up in a demonstration or something that a student can do in your class using Lego.
Get them out of their heads for a minute, right? How much time? 10 minutes.
I honestly have no idea.
Well, or
I was wrong.
if you got left, you can bounce an idea off of us or off of each other.
Well, of course, like, I mean, I'm an office, so I don't have a lot. But I was just thinking about, of course, I could love the first activity on
Impossibly.
or just even the sorting activity for my students to get to know each other. We have no trust without.
The biggest one.
I think that's that though.
No.
Wonder if we get the chance to get those.
I could use.
Do you need a fresh over?
No.
Oh, I like. And, oh, you could just start playing with that idea. So.
Yeah, my brain went to kind of like the clinical environment. Right, Stephanie has some built environments. Yeah, so could you build what, and what do you think your clinical environment is going to look like?
Yes.
And chat while you're doing, there's like, you can have people with reflective questions while they're actually building.
That's, I think.
Yeah,
That's such a brilliant, I think that would be, yeah, just get the mind going. Not staring at someone intently, right, as they're talking.
Right, yeah, it's like, you think.
So, yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
But it's a brick circle. And the other piece that I've been used occasionally is getting my students to come to a course with a minifig of their choosing. we're down to bricks and minifigs. $6 and now it's $7, but you can go and design yourself.
Oh.
And so then I use it for attendance and we take good pictures. And bricks and
I'm new back
minifigs.
to town.
Okay, it's sold for flat by,
But wait,
where is it?
Bangor?
No,
So
no.
you mean like
But
something,
now it's kind of like, near,
so you want with or without studs?
Pratt Avenue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Down in there, and they have use Lego, they have a whole, like, they get doctor and nurse minifigs at the wazoo.
As in, I don't.
Yeah, and they can, you can have birthday parties, or you can have group events, there's Legos all day, never
Turn off the girl guide filter.
Yep.
Not a wrong thing, girl.
No,
Right down and reach.
but that's brilliant. I mean, I love all of those ideas. I think it's fascinating that I've just built a mini hospital with no door.
Mini hospital with what?
With no door.
I'm just thinking, you're here, you're not, there was a door. Here's a ladder.
It's a door.
And there's a bench to jump on top of it.
I'm sure.
Triangle is. Here we go. It has to take my. It's on the brick, it might have to be not on the thingy. It's what I. It doesn't have to go multi.
So for the electric, is the big,
If you do something.
have this big lever?
Oh, yeah, I'm not very good.
No, so that was in a different one. Oh, but. it's not.
Way there.
Oh, there you go.
To attach. So can you hang it off an edge a bit?
Yes.
If you can see, if I had more
Love that.
You could.
I need an inch piece.
You can join us. I said, you can join her. Like, oh, I don't need to join a Lego.
It's still
all the time. Out to the Lego at the moment. There's actually a registered Lego group on the island. We're Newfound Log. And we just get together adults and talk about Lego and play with Lego and build Lego and they'll lose their mind with Lego. The problem we're running into at our house now is my son loves to build. Oh. No more space. Yeah, I mean, it's
Hilarious, we're still maintaining.
He goes through phases where he takes stuff and just builds it up stuff.
No, but why is this hilarious? It seems obvious.
Never step back.
But I'm going.
Never did I curse on that at all.
And that, wow.
Walter Red.
Right.
I think.
Seen a few pieces.
What?
Can I borrow?
I know you, but so that's not really. No, I know. I know you're not. Joe?
This is kind of a folder, right? So this, is both these guys here. So.
I've got something. You got your figure that you built one.
Oh, clearly. You need the ball anymore. I have to glue it all together.
Say what's for the edge.
Perfect.
Sorry. That's my thing. You did. You're not. The other way to turn around and you down on your.
No. Get more Legos than me.
Oh, yeah, this is conceptually finished.
Firewall.
You guess what?
Save many of the.
Yes, chemistry.
Oh.
I see like some bubbles here.
Here's another file. Let's go get your beakers or this.
These are the here that both are
Kinetics.
this one is just the one model and it's voiding. It's just that changing.
So like,
It's placed,
yeah.
but here is a reaction that happens.
Trying to build. And then
Muscle up.
So as you said you are starting to be done, what you can do is leave out your creations and you can start putting your Lego back in the box.
Yes.
Because we're gonna have a kind of like a poster session, you can walk around and show off.
Favorite voice.
Oh,
So you're gonna have about another minute or so to finish up your creations. I apologize if it's not quite enough time.
It's an illustration of different data structures. This is a cube. So in a cube, like you basically can only take elements from front, from back, taking up, essentially, this illustrates that it's a cube. And so this is how you can organize data, right? You can put data so that it goes through the back. And these ones here, these are stacks. Another stack. Structure. Where you can
Conceptually.
take
It'll get the point.
So you can only add or remove two tabs. So they are basically just ordinary.
Going.
Yeah.
I love your rainbow.
Two different data
Learning
structures.
MATLAB so much easier.
Starting attaching,
Like, no, I gotta build over here first.
But these are just two data structures.
Well, sometimes it's easier to bring it together somewhere else.
Well, like,
I don't have the right.
they are-
I'm trying desperately to figure out.
I'm gonna use the eye.
I'm just thinking. See what I was thinking.
You can only remove them
He's
from-
trying to do moments.
And you only take one by one. And-
If I had hinge pieces.
I need to wait on next fall.
These can be
Well, and there's
basically you can open those.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can
like,
basically-
as a probably.
Yeah, they just force that. This one here.
Brilliant.
Because I don't think they're contemplating tossing them back.
Yeah, there's a rationale behind the whole thing.
I like it.
And you can add it.
Wondering what techniques.
So you can-
Figure out the rest now.
I can type this.
You have a whole.
Oh, wow. Look at it.
Right, because they can't
Visualize.
visualize as they move the lid.
We have a class called that.
Yeah.
My two
Finish up your creations, and as people are finishing up the creations, all the blocks that aren't creation, you can go back in the box.
Not a bigger.
Yeah, I'm not very good about it.
Finish the double brick, the brick starts to go.
Get this one, you get it.
No, I don't.
Play now.
There is a store.
One month. It is.
Done that.
It's my life. Get the Lego out, right? They use the belt and then they're like, we're done, mama.
27. Picture.
Thank you for that.
Fish.
There's nothing right now. Yeah.
All right, so it's kind of like a poster presentation.
Wait. I don't know.
And you can write up the dates.
Are they all on the?
right, so what we're gonna do now is and find out. Not to say real, I learned what outside the name.
Yeah, I was like, I need more study. I need more study.
Yeah, the bottom.
I go all the paper, I made the number of weights, you make 12. So.
See teachers.
We're sharing the theme, we're sharing.
Oh, I think
teaching.
I found a hinge. I was trying, so I was trying to get. One of the hardest. ones that-
Yeah, different options.
And so.
I am about to
I learned better when I write down something.
comes to different,
And,
different
yeah, so-
components.
Yeah.
Where were you in 19
But then.
So simple, but like.
Discuss amongst themselves.
I mean, you're right.
So I think this one is there are. One is the called the.
Yep.
So it's you
Yep.
can take things from the top. And you can add them to the top, but you cannot do any other thing than that. So that's a restriction for this that structure. So now this is the stack. Did I say it was the cube? So there you go. So, and of course,
Good job.
this is the cube. And in the cube, you can only.
So basically,
How it
just
works.
give instructions, but I had a little
Here
pause.
as we are.
Here we have our cube.
So
We can say, okay, I want to take
transfer to
one,
Sufficient.
and I use it,
First.
maybe I discard
and
it.
from
Then
here,
columns. Either
Programming
the
doesn't
back.
seem.
columns to
Programming.
So those are the
But
two
from
different.
home-
methods.
from the
And then-
floor, the beat.
Come back. So they come to my attention.
Sure, go rainbow.
Logic,
From-
labs,
From the floor.
side department. So one of the hardest
So
concepts
the teams,
again
columns,
is
and
to
then
like
for the-
evaluate quantified statements on.
at the concept.
So for
rainbow.
like
Me.
meaning like that you see on this have to play the same color or.
So.
or same height.
For the moments, you know, that's the part of totally.
How do you store it?
Yeah, and so now you can visually do the verification.
There's the alumni.
And that kind of has helped translate.
This is a long story.
Well, mine is much more constant. My friend is
There.
very, very into teaching, like I just taught my
Oh.
first semester. And so this is literally. Headed to the. I love it.
Engineering, but I can't.
That's coding robot means.
I like this one.
Start. Finish.
This one, I like.
I know, I love that.
It's not, but what it actually does include.
With ours?
Unbugged, and then you would bug going faster, whatever.
These are the different
Whatever.
disciplines of engineering, and I'm gonna say connected rooms off the side that are, you know, essential to the working of
Did
engineering.
you guys see? Yeah, so,
So I teach plagiarism, citing and referencing, so this is the foundational thinker in the field.
They all fit
These
in
are
one.
the students
that
who
don't
learned
seem
from
like
the
they fit
foundational
what's that
thinker in the
word,
field, who then
but it
became
actually all
teachers.
fits.
The next layer is the students of that teacher. You see that they're all like here, except with the blue, there was a break in the school of thinking. So the
Conceptualization to do it.
teacher went off with their own school of thought with their.
What have you brought for us?
Oh, mine is not nearly as
Different
complex.
students until this one
Much
comes
more
along.
concrete.
Rigid.
And of course, being a nurse, he was just trying to visualize what it was like stepping into that clinical space with
For coding robots.
and, you know, myself, or some version of myself, a student, and the patient coming to the hospital together to work together, so.
But you know.
And I tried to make sure there was a lot of light, because man. So it's like, I wonder, there was lots of very similar. think I've worked in a lab that had windows. My,
So this would be my student.
My
All our
ICUs
students
are now to have
they come with
windows
different
for the first
backgrounds,
few years.
different interests, different questions, like.
a
no two are the
version of a
same.
hallway.
So to me, it's like they're
We
following,
had one sink.
they're like a
for
rainbow
13
because they're
pages.
all.
And we used to call
And
it.
this is our student, this is me coaching them along, the students.
It
that
upgraded,
changed.
yeah, that
That's
changed.
the alumni waiting for that. Saying, we got more tools and a lunch, because you're gonna be hungry. And this is the pot gold with that
Yes.
1 eye we found in our.
Like when you started your conversation, it was like, oh my God, is the seagull gonna hit the window? And then him and his buddy flew off in another direction, so.
We're taking the 12.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
What makes it
I
12?
missed the explanation of the rest of these.
Three, fours.
Oh, it's really interesting if you want to show.
No, so I do some 12 logic classes.
I did,
yes.
Very good.
Area of the symbols,
Why don't you?
you have to actually
Oh.
clarify.
It's just flowers, beautiful.
So being a
So I learned the best
the
when I do the
objects really helps.
like reflective tables,
Yeah,
where students
theory.
can come up and different shapes and create it.
What does it mean to have
And they can
quantified
display
statement,
the
whether or not
labels
that
along the
quantified
way
statement is
so
true?
that
Like all of the green
uh,
pieces, are they all on the same level?
eye contact is hard. I don't do
have
the eye
A
contact.
variety of
It's
infinite
because of
mini
my
statements.
culture. So
It's just
in
like,
here they
is that
just
true? Is that
like,
false?
just create stuff and just talk.
Or excuse the rule.
And I believe
Now
when
on
you
wheels.
discuss a
And
paper
now
with your
thanks to you,
peers,
that the infinite plane.
in science.
Why did it take it off?
So I just created
Yeah,
it.
'cause we then.
Little tables, beautiful flowers and
We have
curve.
an infinite number of things.
How about you?
I think Jenna has this
very
philosophical
most-
state, and I couldn't make a triangle. But it's supposed to be a
For any building.
so like this would be a not gate.
So this is a
Zero
a
coming in and one coming out.
building. So from the top floor.
Yeah.
The loading transfer to something like Teams,
Very
which is, which. Transfer to.
Mine is the
for-
maze, so the idea is
So
you have to give instructions.
This is a foundation for on the earth.
Kind of thing.
So if you gather this column from the first floor, would be like much bigger than the previous one.
Want to do, or in some
Look,
places you don't want
So-
to end up. So yes,
So
that's
this
the
go
idea,
from
how,
this
what
hole.
kind of instructions would you give
It's
to get.
moved to the very, sorry.
I know.
I know, right?
And I was trying to keep
Yeah.
with the two because the Lego, there is a Lego ball that would go through here, but it
Yeah.
won't go through here.
Well, you were, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, make it-
Lego expert.
Just want to point that out.
So
Not quite,
there's a.
I'm a Lego collector.
I struggle with triangle. Based on my
My
experience.
purpose is-
I know, it's like I realized
My
how
phone's
little
cheating.
I actually play with Lego,
So it's just.
and yet I have a great desire.
Here he's not
to
doing
do
it for
so.
me.
Well, it comes out.
It's like a Lego marketing. This is in our labs now.
Water, falls off
Yeah.
the this is the water,
Yeah.
it's just this is the.
Visual and-
the-
Yeah.
Putting it
Yeah,
down.
like, and as much as you want there to be depth, in some ways, you almost need
this
to
one
get
here,
out of your head.
put it
And
here.
just
So
in
it
the physical
illustrates
realm,
the
and then
concepts
you
from
can come back
computer
to
science.
like,
So one is to have, these
So
are
that's where
data
you can add.
structures. So they are holders
When
of
I get
data.
students to do
So on this guy here is called the stack. So and in the stack, you can
Back-
add more data to the top of the stack, or you can remove the
Yes.
items. So you can only
Add the
do
replace
this
these two.
or this, right? So and that's how the stack. So here we have four stacks, and this one is called the queue. And in the queue, you can basically add things or remove things from the front.
Does it go missing?
back.
No, it doesn't, no.
They only allow operations. So and those are basic data structure.
These are the Lego.
People, they write it, they write programs to.
Three of us. I don't think Fabien is using it anymore. For his stuff.
All I ever learned about computer science was right here.
Yeah.
Do you find you use it just like?
We are going to have an exam.
Yeah, it's different. My experience, I use it one class, just because it worked. I can use it too.
All right, and we move on to the next.
It becomes another.
Yeah, I think we actually unfortunately have to wrap. I think an hour and a half would have been really excellent for what we had planned this morning. But hopefully through the 3 kinds of building exercises we did today, that you've been provoked to think about how Lego could be incorporated in your teaching practice and how it can have some aspects of improving the learning climate and or learning experience for students. And Lego can be got on Facebook Marketplace. It can be got at Bricks and Minifigs, or in some cases, you get the money, you can buy it new with buckets. There's lots of things about Lego rooms on the internet. So if you're launching forth, feel free to check in with myself or Dr. Byrne about things we've learned in addition. And by later tonight, all of that, our little slides will be up as well. And we thank you very, very much.
Should we get a picture of everything that we've built? One big picture if we can?
Disassembled body.
Assemble them, go ahead and put them here. We can put the boxes back together because I want to respect if you need to Jen.
I wanted to see you guys, like, you're.
We're just.
Yes.